Hey y'all, this is Don Claus. This is Old Happy Mouth. I just want to welcome y'all today. Today what we're going to do is we're going to do a little shrimp etouffee. This is a good little simple dish. And I'm going to just make a small batch. And in here, as you see, I've melted down roughly about 4 tablespoons of butter. Now I got about a cup of mixed onions, bell peppers, and red bell peppers for colors, because you kind of want to make the thing pretty to the eye, because people eat with their eyes first, you know, because if it looks good, it most definitely gonna taste good. So everybody, you know, you watch all them big cooking shows, they'll charge you $50 for a little sprinkle of color on your meal and everything. But right now what I'm doing, I'm sauteing down these onions. You got about altogether a cup there that's sauteing a mixed red and green bell peppers and some red onions and regular onions. So I made it small, so I got about a half an onion mixed up, white onions and red onions, because I like the flavor of red onions because it gives it a little sweetness. So what this dish does, you actually need that little sweetness for that flavor, because it's going to bring out the flavor in the shrimp. And so right now what we're doing, we're sauteing these down till they get soft. You just want them kind of wilted, kind of semi-soft like that. And you just continue cooking them like that. And while they're cooking, I'm going to talk a little bit about when I was a child. I was raised up on the bayou down in the Chapala River Basin, down in a little town called Amelia, Louisiana, which we call Bayou Buff. Now everybody down there was fishing folks. It was all freshwater fishing. And my daddy grew up, we fished a lot, but I remember the average days after we got out of school and we had our playtime on weekends, we would take off down the bayou and ride through the swamps, and we was always hunting snakes. So we'd let the snakes would get up on the logs next to the bayou out to kind of warm themselves, and so we just drive all through the swamps down there for hours upon hours just shooting snakes. And if I ain't killed 1,000,000 snakes, I ain't killed one. But that was kind of our pastime. Now other times, sometimes when we get up, Mom and Daddy would make us get up in the morning, especially on a morning that it was foggy, because if we had a good fog, we'd jump in the boat and go down the bayou, and there was this cluster of mushrooms, and it was an old Cajun myth that these mushrooms, they grew around the base of a willow tree, and that was the only ones that was good to eat, as long as they was around a willow tree. Now to this day, I've yet to learn the name of these mushrooms, because they're not like a button mushroom, they're a big cluster. And we would take those things and cook them down, and Mama would always use them for dishes like pork, beef, and chicken. But these mushrooms was totally different. They almost looked like kind of what the Chinese call a cellophane noodle, a little clear noodle, and they would come out long and stringy, but they had the most unique flavor, and I've yet to this day, you know, tasted anything quite like it. Now little by little, as pollution came in and the oil field country came in and everything, these things kind of started disappearing, and you know, it kind of makes us remind us, and here I'm talking 50 years later, how much America has changed. You know, the disappearing of cultures and disappearing of traditions and everything, and along with the growth of the oil field back in the 50s and 60s, the pollution came in, and they were dumping chemical waste and everything, polluting the air from the chemical plants coming off of the Mississippi River down in the Baton Rouge and Plaquemine area. So it done something. I remember we used to ride around in the boat, and Daddy would show me the moss, because there were portions in my life when I was young we would pick moss, and old Spanish moss, and we would dry that. We'd lay that outside in the yard and just let it dry, and then we'd sell it to particular individuals that was buying that. And what they would do, they would make mattresses or whatever with that moss. You know, and then little by little the Spanish moss started disappearing, and that was because of the pollution in the area. So life changed, you know. I get mad and angry at the government, because little by little in the name of prosperity and jobs and everything, they robbed America of the true culture of what America was built on. It happened in all parts of the United States, not just in the Bayou country in South Louisiana, but you know, that was just something I wanted to share with y'all. And because life was real interesting growing up, because I mean, we had our gardens that soil was so rich and black and fertile that no matter what you threw in there, it grew. So we always had our okras and our Creole tomatoes, and we grew plenty of green onions, and we always had a vegetable garden out there for what we needed, because we would only go to town once a month, and we would go to town in the boat, because we didn't drive cars. Dad and Mama never ever drove a car, and so we would go once a month in the boat to get stuff like flour and big 50-pound bags of rice. And so that was our way of supplying us with a month's supply. Okay, now we're looking. These veggies are getting kind of soft here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and dump these shrimp in there. That's some pretty good size 26-30 tails there. That's all. What I got here is about 1.5 pounds. So, you know, you would double up. Say, if you cook it, say roughly 3 pounds for a larger serving, 3 pounds of shrimp, you would use about 8 tablespoons. And then you just let that kind of simmer down in there. And so the next thing you do a little, we always got to put a little salt and pepper, so I'm using just a little pinch of salt and pepper here. And got a little black pepper I'm going to sprinkle on there. If I can figure out how they open these new containers of black pepper. That's the wrong side, that's where you get a bunch there, but I just want to do a little light sprinkle. A little sprinkle of black pepper, just to cover it there, give it a little flavor. And now you can either use cayenne pepper, or you can sprinkle a little hot sauce. I'm going to give it just a little dash of hot sauce to make the mouth know you're eating something. You know, it just gives it that little bite. And I just sprinkled a few little drops in there, because that stuff's pretty hot. And so now what we're going to do, as this stuff is simmering, okay, right here I got about roughly 2 tablespoons of flour. So this stuff is simmering. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to pour this flour over there. It's almost like a roux base, but you're going to use that as a thickening agent. And you're going to stir that around, and then just let that simmer down. And you're going to roughly let this cook for about 20 minutes. 20-25 minutes, and you're just going to let this saute down in there. And that right there is what we call a shrimp étouffée. As it's simmering, now it's going to cook for a while, and we're going to sit here and let it simmer. But as this little dish is cooking, I got made on the side there a little potato salad, and everybody's got their own favorite ways of making potato salad. I made a little potato salad, and we're going to have a little side order potato salad with that, and we're going to serve this. Most Cajun people eat everything over rice. You know, it's pretty well, predominantly we eat a lot of rice. So this is going to be served down over rice. Now I'm going to turn this down and let this simmer to a little ways, and then as it's cooking there, you know, because you want them shrimp to cook all the way through. And just let them go ahead and cook through, because they're going to be absorbing all the flavors of them peppers and onions. And that's about the whole extent of what shrimp étouffée is. And okay, here's a little potato salad. I make potato salad a little different. I like to use bell pepper, celery, and onions in there, and especially the flavor of red onions. But it's got a little color to it, and there again, people eat with their eyes. So I got some diced up red bell peppers and little celery and onions in there, and you know, everybody got their basic potato salad, you know, whether you use mayo or salad dressing or whatever. I like to take just a little touch of yellow mustard, just plain old French's yellow mustard, and do a little squeeze in there to give it a little tart, a little bite, and it kind of accents the flavors of everything. Okay, now we just about almost ready. So right now these shrimp look like they're getting pretty well done, and if you notice the color in here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and, excuse me while I get a plate here. I'm going to go ahead and plate up. I cooked a little pot of rice on the side right here. And you know, now this stuff has been simmering for about, right now, probably about 20-25 minutes. That's the miracles of TV. And but anyway, these shrimps are cooking down now right now, and then what I'm gonna do is just take a little spoon of rice there. Excuse me for my adequate, I use the same spoon. But I'm at my house, so I ain't got to worry about no health patrol or nothing, because I'm going to be the only one eating. And then we're going to take this and then sprinkle this, put a couple of little spoons over right there. Now I'm going to grab a little spoon of tater salad. We're going to put a little tater salad on the side. You can serve whatever you want. I mean, whatever side serving you want, it could be beans or just about anything you want. And then I got a little, excuse me, little piece of French bread here. We're going to cut off and little small slices. And the French word for bread is pain. So what we're going to do, we're just going to lay a few slices of French bread right there. And that is our meal for today. This is a little shrimp étouffée with a little potato salad on the side and some little slices of French bread. Little French baguette is what that's called. And so that's about the whole extent of it. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in with me today and allowing me to come into your home and share this little bit of culture with you, and share a little bit of the Cajun way of life that we do. And I got a whole bunch more coming up here in the next coming up shoot. So y'all tune in and listen, because it's going truly make your mouth happy. So thank you for tuning in, and God bless you. I want to wish blessings on you and your family, and thank y'all for allowing me to share this time with y'all. God bless.